Let's work together to solve these addition problems using our base 10 block manipulatives. You should have already solved these, so if you haven't, go back a slide and solve these problems before we do them together. Let's start off by making 1 and 62/100. So I'm going to grab my 1 flat to show my 1, and I'm going to pull out 6 longs to show my 6/10. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6 longs. I'm going to pull out 2 hundredths. And I want to remind you why we call this 62 hundredths. If I were to circle just my longs and hit the separate button, that is 62 of the little hundredths cubes. That's why we call it 62 hundredths. Let's put them back together. So I've got 1 and 62 hundredths. Now I need to add my 3 and 4 tenths. So there's 1, 2, 3, and let's bring 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths down. So now I've got 1 and 62 hundredths plus 3 and 4 tenths. It's time to add them together. I'm going to bring them down here to add them because I think it'll be easier. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 flats, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 longs. Now is right about the time when you should have been thinking, 10 longs equals a flat. So I'm going to circle my 10 longs, and I'm going to turn them into a flat. Now I'm going to bring down my 2 little hundredths cubes. So I've added it all up. Let's count it and see what we've got. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flats. So that means our whole number is 5. We have no longs, so that means we have no tenths. And we have 1, 2 hundredths. So we have 5 and 2 hundredths as our answer for this one. I am going to move it over a little bit just because I don't want it over here and this side over here, so I can have lots of room for my next problem. So let's work on the next one. This one says 85 hundredths plus 1 and 43 hundredths. So I know I don't even need a flat to start this one out because it's just 85 hundredths. So I need 8 longs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to stack them up nice and pretty. So I've got 8 longs, and now I need 2 little small cubes. 1, 2, I need 5 of them, sorry. 3, 4, 5. So I've got 85 hundredths. And remember, if I were to circle them and separate them, then you could see it's called 85 hundredths because I could separate it into 85 of the little hundredths cubes. Let's bring them back together. So I've got 85 hundredths plus 1 and 43 hundredths. So let's go ahead and get my flat for my 1 over here. And I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I need 1 extra. I'll dump that one. 4 longs. And I'm going to need 1, 2, 3. I got an extra one of that too. Of my little tiny hundredths cubes. Now it's time to add them together. I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to say 1. Now let's bring some longs down. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait. 10 longs equals a flat. So I'm going to go ahead and circle it and turn it into a flat. And bring down the rest of my longs. Now let's bring down the cubes. So I've got 5 there and 3 here. So let's figure out what number we have. We're going to count 1, 2 flats. So I know I've got the whole number 2. And 1, 2 long. So I've got 2 tenths. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 small cubes. So I've got 2 and 28 hundredths. 2 flats, 2 longs, 8 small cubes. I hope that's the same number that you got. Go ahead back to the video to learn about how to subtract before we practice with some subtraction problems.